everybody, Mandolin back again with the Art of Pain, and today I have more of a story than a video for you guys, but either way, here we go. I was talking with a friend earlier this week about the last video I had done, and I was asked if I was ever going to kind of dig back into the past at all, if I had any interesting stories, and as it turns out, I kind of do. So, raise your hand if you were 15 when you found out that you had a brother living in England. Just me then. Okay. So, here's a little backstory because it's kind of a whole thing. When I was 14, my mom and I moved away from where I always grew up, my hometown, where all my friends were, where everything I knew was, and we moved to a few towns over, just a place that I didn't really fit in, I didn't really like, and it made me super depressed that I didn't really have anyone around to hang out with and talk to because we didn't have a phone. And I actually, not just for that reason, but other obvious reasons, I actually ended up getting myself taken away from my mom. So my mother lost custody because of me. So it wasn't just being there, it wasn't just, you know, being sad and being lonely. It was a lot of things. They had to come in and do an inspection, and they're like, oh, no toilet paper or food, and for how long? Where's your mom? You don't know, kind of thing. So it was a whole process. But after that, my aunt tried to take me in. I'm close with her. We have a really good relationship. But since she lived in another state, even though not that far, she lived in another state, the court was like, no. So what did they do? They found my dad, my biological father, my aunt and my mom did, and talked him into taking custody of me. Mind you, I did not know this guy from anybody else. We had seen each other a few times, but I did not really know him, nor did I know any of this was happening. I was in school at the time. So fast forward a little while, and I'm living with my dad, and I was angry. Aside from just the stuff that I had already gone through in life, I was angry that he didn't put forth more of an effort. Like I said, I barely knew him. I am willing to say I still barely know him. And so I was angry. I was an angry kid. I was an ass. I'll be the first to say it. I didn't make it easy on him. I wanted him to make up for 15 years the second I stepped in the door, and life doesn't work that way. But that's how I behaved. And one day, when I was still living there, he ended up telling me that I had a brother in England, and I'm like, what? So yeah, he gave me his name, and that's about all I ever did with it until, and this is after a lot of other things, but I'm not going to get into all of that, until I was 18 and just randomly decided to search for my brother on Facebook. So I found him, or who I thought was him, and he ended up asking me if we had met because I looked really familiar, and I'm like, I look like you. That's why I look familiar. No, I've never been to England. I don't know where you live. I am your sister. Nice to meet you. And that kind of, it was really cool. It was really cool to find out that, yeah, it's true. I do. His dad is my dad. We have a different mom, obviously. But that was a whole cool thing for me. That was really exciting. That was a cool time. And he actually, many years later, ended up moving in here for a while. And by here, I mean with me in my house. And I think it was just a total culture shock for him. Dunkin' Donuts and our breakfast foods in general seem to be the biggest, issue. And how it's just so weird that Americans put sugar in everything, and everything comes in huge portions and yada yada. But it was cool. there were a few things that we could relate to. Of course, the feeling of not growing up with our dad and just kind of figuring out things on our own. Neither of our moms were really cool, so we ended up, you know, in different situations, not living with them, both of us separately. So we did have a lot to talk about, for sure. We had 20 something years at that time. He's only a year younger than me. So what happened, I guess, is I knew that my dad was in the military, in the army, but I guess my mom and him met, or perhaps previously knew each other. They hung out, whatever. She ended up pregnant. He ended up leaving, being stationed in England, finding my brother's mom, and the rest is kind of history. But we're only 11 months apart. I'm born in October of 90 and he's born in September of 91. So consider that time frame. There must have been a lot going on, but I don't know. We've kind of lost connection here, and he doesn't watch my videos. To be honest, not many people that I know do. I am definitely getting to know people that do, and that do comment and do respond to me. But the majority of people in my life with access to YouTube do not watch. I don't know if it's just like too weird for them, or they're just not interested in something like this. But the friends that do watch, thank you very much. And thank you to everyone at all who finds any interest in this. I kind of love doing it. That's why we have 2 videos in 1 week, which has never happened before. So you're welcome. But yeah, I wanted to tell you that weird little tidbit because I guess it is interesting. To me, it was crazy and cool, like, oh, I have a brother in England, and then he moved here, and then he did end up moving back to England. He's with his girlfriend doing British things somewhere, probably drinking tea. It is true, they drink a lot of tea. However, he didn't say bollocks nearly as much as I was hoping he would. I thought that would be like kind of commonplace, but he did say bloody a lot, so I guess tomato, tomato. But yeah, so that was my random story time for you guys today. It's a rainy day here. There's not much else for me to do, and I already hooped today, which I haven't hooped. I want to enunciate that, hooped with an H today, and it's been a while, so I'm feeling invigorated, and I figured what better way than to straighten my hair and make a video. So I hope everybody is having a great day. Let me know if you ever found out about siblings later in life that you didn't grow up with and perhaps didn't know about until you were older. Like, I was 15, I'd consider that older. Let me know, and be kind to each other, and thank you for watching.